You can still question whatever you bring up.
Also in this bulletin.
We are withdrawing completely from our safe work environment. You're saying what government should act now?
Lose your workers, that's all.
Health workers at the Pantan Government Hospital declare an indefinite strike as they protest encroachment on the hospital's lands. We'll get a live update and hear from the workers who say they face attacks by criminals at the facility. Also, 4 confirmed dead from heavy rains throughout last week in Accra and Kumasi, and many counting their losses after torrential rains left major parts of the city flooded.
I received a call that someone is lying beside this stream.
Also in sports.
Well, they got 3 points against Kumasi, Asante, Kodoko, and the Heart of Folk are not relenting. They insist the battle is far from over as they aim to capture the Premier League title.
And later in showbiz, when Kiddy met the VGMA Artist of the Year, Diana Hamilton, for the first time after a competitive awards ceremony.
Such a fine gentleman.
Thank you very much.
Wow. He's a true gentleman.
Thank you very much. Please sit down. Please sit down.
Thank you.
I've been through a lot, but grace sustained me. My chest.
We have that and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau. Thanks for your company. Let's settle for the details now. And this afternoon, President Akufo-Addo has called on the 2021 National Population and Housing Census officials to strictly adhere to the data provision protection in the law to ensure the sanctity of the exercise. The census took off last night, and for the next 2 weeks, everyone in the country is to be counted. At his Nima residence, President Akufo-Addo and his household were enumerated to formally start the exercise. After going through the questionnaire, President Akufo-Addo called on Ghanaians to fully participate in the exercise, saying the outcome will help government plan and develop the country with reliable data.
But what I want to emphasize is the confidentiality and the assurance to providers of information that it's just for statistical purposes. We're not going to identify individuals in the data collection. We're not going to release that information for any use, such as for tax purposes. Your Excellency, on the account of the confidentiality and the assurance, do we have your permission to proceed, please?
Who are you counting? Everybody who's in Ghana?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. All persons
who are here?
Yes.
As of last night?
As of last night.
Yes. Everybody who's here, doesn't matter the nationality, the resident status, nothing. So long as they were in Ghana last night, yes, they will be counted. Yes. Is that it? No, people don't have to come and show that they are Ghanaian or they are this or that. So long as physically they were present last night, they'll be counted.
Yes.
That assurance has been given to the population, I hope, clearly.
Indeed, that is why our slogan for the census is "You count, get counted." So it's a non-discriminatory activity. It's an all-inclusive activity.
Because I've noticed from the newspapers, from the media, that certain groups of people seem as if they are talking as if they have been discriminated against. I heard, for instance, Fulani people saying that they should be counted. Is that true?
Your Excellency, indeed, that's come up, especially with the Fulani group, and we have had petitions from at least 4 other ethnic groups. Thankfully, we've been able to resolve all those challenges. It was a matter of public education for them to understand how the questioning is done. Your Excellency, as I indicated, the counting is conditioned on only persons who spend the night, and that is a criteria. But in addition to that, we have 127 questions, and one of the questions is the ethnic group that the respondent belong. And we do the analysis by making an attempt to capture the major ethnic groups that we have.
Well, because it's extremely important that this process should be a process of unification, not disaggregation, not...
President Akufo-Addo there interacting with government statistician Professor Samuel Kobnenim. Now, Joy News is learning the Vice President, the Speaker of Parliament, the Chief Justice, and other key individuals have been counted. My colleague Pakwesi Parker-Wilson is at the residence of the former President John Dramani Mahama and joins us live. Parker, what's happening there? Has the former President been counted?
Yes, MFI, he's been counted. The process lasted for about 8 to 10 minutes. He was asked of his date of birth, his ethnic group, his nationality, among others. Now, shortly after the exercise, the former president asked Ghanaians to support or cooperate with the field officers to ensure the success of this process.
I want to encourage everybody to participate in this census. Census are thousands of years old, and for those of us who believe in Christ, we remember that his father and mother had to travel to their hometown because a census was being undertaken. And so they are not only exercises that were undertaken even in biblical times, but they are exercises that are undertaken even more importantly now because it is necessary to know how many people live in your country accurately so that you can make better provision in terms of social amenities and in terms of how the economy is managed and in terms of how development is spread so that everybody gets a fair share of the national cake. And so I've just answered my questions. And please kindly, when the census officers get to your house, welcome them and answer the very simple questions. It's just your name, your date of birth, how long you've lived here and all that kind of thing. There's nothing, very serious. So please welcome them.
That's former President John Dramani Mahama there. Let's get an understanding of how the exercise is progressing around the country. In the northern regional capital, Tamale, some Muslim leaders are warning any attempt to tamper with the data may not present a true outcome after the exercise. Martina Bugri has been monitoring the exercise there for us. Martina, what's the update where you are?
The census has started this morning. We had people going around homes to take data. Earlier this morning, there were some at the minority leaders home to take his data as well. And so I must say that in the northern region, high-profile people like the regional chief imam, the minister, and several others have had their data taken. They are encouraging people in the region to get counted because it is important. It will help in planning, and that means that the region can get its share of national development. And the Muslim community earlier this week raised concerns about previous census not being accurate because they believe their numbers are more than what was presented, but they were given assurance that this census is going to be very accurate because of the robust system they have put in place to gather data.
We are now using digital technology, and you bring tablets and input your data. But let me tell you, that's from the end. As somebody who knows something about ICT, inputting the figure is not enough. It's posting the figure is the first method of capturing the real data. And transferring the data to the server in Accra is the final one. Let's make provision for people to ensure and cross that the data I have provided is the one on the server. Unless that is done, we can still question whatever you bring up.
That's Mohammed Adam, a Muslim leader in the northern region. I'll take you to the Bono East region now, where census officials in the Techiman municipality are optimistic that the 2021 Population and Housing Census program will help bring development to the area by raising the municipality status to a metropolitan one. Correspondent Anas Sabit has more.
Is set for the 2021 Population and Housing Census to take place in all the 11 municipal and district assemblies of the Bono East region. Authorities in the region are optimistic that the exercise will help with the needed data capable of aiding development within the area. Mr. Alex Anyete is the Techiman South Census Officer and the second in command at the Regional Census Office.
Bono East region is a new region that has been carved out of the former Bono Ahavo region. So we at the regional office, we in the district offices, we are determined to do good work so that we can have a good estimate of the population and the structures.
The Techiman municipality has in all deployed 525 personnel made up of 430 enumerators and 95 supervisors. Municipal Coordinating Director Alhaji Hamza told Joy News that enough preparations are being made to ensure that the exercise runs smoothly, with the municipality aiming at attaining a metropolitan status.
For the Chima municipal, as you know, now we are now a municipality. So we are also aspiring to be a metropolitan. So for us, this exercise is very important to us. It's very crucial. And so that's why we are appealing to everybody to just get himself or herself counted, so that at least the numbers will show that we are actually in the status of metropolitan.
And as Sabit files that report, I'll take you to the Western region now, where Natalia Kwanza joins us on updates on the exercise. Ina, how's the exercise progressing where you are?
Well, exercise has been good since yesterday when they started the census night with bonfire. This morning, over 2,000 enumerated have been deployed to the various centers to start the counting. And so the Western Regional Minister has encouraged everyone that they should participate, and then they should collaborate with the enumerators when they come to the house. Because if you indeed want to have our share of the cake and claim that the best is from the West and have majority of development coming here, we should be able to collaborate with them to get the right figures so that we can make a case for ourselves anytime we want to.
That's my colleague Natalia Kwanza, and the Ashanti region officials of the Statistical Service spent the census night at the Asafo VIP Transport Terminal in Kumasi. The exercise, which targeted the unstable population, people in custody, hospitals, and those in transit, came as a surprise to many. Love FM's Erastus Asari Donko has more.
Census officials gathered in their numbers at the Asafo VIP Terminal in Kumasi to begin the enumeration. At 8 p.m., they started mounting long-distance commercial vehicles, beginning the exercise.
I didn't expect anything like this, and I didn't know such a thing was going on as at this time.
Others, including this gentleman, will not allow themselves to be counted on the bus. Regional statistician Dr. Kwabna Abakamensa noted the need for the census night to capture the unstable population starting the night of June 27th.
Census night is very important. It is the statistical reference point for all the questions in the census document.
That's my colleague Love FM Erastus Asari Donko's report. You count, so get counted. Let's talk about some other issues now. What you're hearing is sounds of aggrieved health workers at the Pantan Government Hospital who hit the streets today in demand of immediate action over encroachment on the hospital's lands. The workers, who have declared an indefinite strike, say they are being constantly attacked by land guards and other criminals at the facility. Health Minister Kweku Agyeman-Manu had, at his appointment committee hearing, promised a compulsory acquisition of the encroached lands by government. But after months of no action, the hospital staff have abandoned their post, threatening not to return until the matter is addressed.
We want you to demarcate Pantan Hospital now. We cannot work amidst land guards. We can't. We are there, a land guard will come, and then they start foundation and they are building. We cannot continue to work among land guards. Our work is very risky. The patient we have already is a risky job. And then the environment is not conducive for us. So we want Mr. President to rise up now and demarcate the Pantan Hospital. It cannot continue. It must stop today. Yes. The Pantan Hospital invasion must stop today and forever. We are serious about this, and we are not going to go to work because our lives are in danger. We cannot work with land guards.
My colleague Manuel Kranting is at that demonstration. He joins us with more live. Manuel, government has already assured it is working on that matter. Why are the workers still striking?
Indeed, MFR, an exercise to actually fence the facility was started sometime last year. Now, it took the arrival of a contractor on site for them to return to work. I'm talking about the health workers. Last year, they demonstrated and embarked on a sit-down strike. But shortly after the contractor returned to work, the work on the fence also stalled. And for the past 6 months, there's been no action And that's the reason for the demonstration and subsequent strike today.
But we know there are patients on admission there, or if you've been checking, what will be happening to them in the absence of the workers?
Well, the rep of the Ghana Medical Association at the facility, Dr. Alex Owusu, told me that for them, they are laying down their tools indefinitely. If the management of the facility cannot take care of the patients on admission, they should then discharge them because they are not returning until their issues are addressed by government.
They've been mentioning that this is an indefinite strike. What would it take for them to go back to work?
They say it would take about 80% of the construction of the fence wall around the facility for them to return to work because work had already started and stalled when they returned to work. And so if the work doesn't get to an 80% completion rate, then they are not returning to work.
That's my colleague Emmanuel Cranting there. And speaking of protests, some Agbogloshi onion sellers are opposing the relocation of Ajin Kotoku even before a grand day about to conclude negotiations begin. The sellers joined a team from the Greater Accra Ministry led by the Minister Henry Quaye as part of efforts to familiarize themselves with the venue and subsequently relocate them. However, upon reaching there, they expressed dissatisfaction with the area. Listen.
We can't talk now. We are fully talking to our ends. We say we are not coming.
So you won't come?
We are not coming.
Why?
Nobody's coming. We are not coming.
Why are you not coming? Just want to. Okay, so I just want to understand why you are not coming.
Madam, the place is too small for us. It's too small for us.
For how many onion sellers?
It's 5 groups. 5 groups, and 1 group is having more than 1,000 people.
Some residents and then traders of Agbogloshi there interacting with Joy News, Mamesi, Nyameche Thompson. We'll try and get some responses from the Greater Accra Regional Ministry. But some Ghanaians are counting their losses after a week of torrential rainfall. The country's major cities, Accra and Kumasi in particular, witnessed flash floods leading to loss of lives and properties. In Kumasi, 4 persons have so far been confirmed dead after the heavy rains. The Ghana Meteorological Agency warned last week that more of these are to be expected because the major cities have lost their ability to withstand these floods. We'll hear from authorities on what is being done to address this perennial problem. But first, a wrap of the flood situation from last week.
They all got down immediately I stopped. That was when they fell into the water.
Another year, same story of casualties and loss of properties caused by perennial flooding in major cities in the country. 2-year-old Mohammed Awal was carried away by floodwaters in Sawaba in the Ashanti region on Tuesday. The rains also flooded the newly built ultramodern KJTR market. Traders defied the rains and attempted to salvage their properties. On Sunday, 3 people were found dead after the rains receded. Police and NADMO also picked up the dead body of a man believed to be in his 30s at Abuabu Pelele in the Ashanti region.
I called the regional police commander, the district police commander, NADMO, and then all the personnel that I think they can help us to help all this issue. They came and then now they have taken the dead body to mortuary.
Back here in Accra, major parts of the nation's capital were submerged after the flood waters from choked drains overflowed their borders and took over major roads, blocking vehicular flow. Teshi, Kaswa, and parts of Hacho were among the worst affected areas. In Teshi, residents are counting their losses as they blame an ongoing project in the area for the situation.
To come and create a concrete or whatever on the gutter. So it is either one. You cease the construction now, and then come later on when the rains are over, or create a very big outlet for the water to go.
Wager barrier. Roads were filled with mud sliding from the mountainous parts of the area, causing some vehicles to get stuck, resulting in massive traffic. Residents want urgent action after years of complaints and neglect.
Well, but here in Accra, Chief Executive of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Mohammed Ejesoa, has been speaking about activities to limit flooding in Accra during this
Somewhere in March, we
started desilting all the drains within Accra and Accra 1. And then it's also supported by the Ministry of Works and Housing to also drain, to also dredge the main storm drains also in Accra. The Korle Lagoon dredging is also ongoing, and I'm sure if you come to the Korle Lagoon right now, you see a lot of water on the lagoon, which about a year or two ago it was not like that. So we'll make some adequate preparation to forestall flooding in Accra. However, we are also mindful of the illegal settlements, especially along waterways, that are inhibiting the progress that we've done so far, which of course is an old age problem which the assemblies are working on it. Working as a group among all the assemblies within the Gama area.
Meanwhile, government says it has initiated its flood control program as part of measures to mitigate the adverse impact of floods in the country. Works and Housing Minister Francis Asensio-Boakye announced this at a news conference. Meanwhile, traders at Asafo Market have issued a 7-day ultimatum to the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly to stop a private developer reconstructing the market from blocking drains there. This follows the flooding of the market on Thursday, leading to loss of property. According to the traders, this is the first time we are witnessing the problem, blaming the private developer for this. Nanaya Ojima was at the market. He joins us on the phone. Nanaya, what are some of the challenges the traders are pointing to?
So when I went to the market, I realized that due to the movement of heavy-duty trucks within the market, some of the drains in the market are blocked, leading to the floods that were experienced not long ago. There are others that the construction being done in the market has also affected. Most of the drains within the market are unable to flow freely as they used to. So the traders believe these are the reasons why the major parts of the market got flooded the last time it rained.
Now, you've also been interacting with the contractors themselves, the contractors of this particular project. What has been their response?
So according to them, the drains are part of the reasons why the KMA gave them the go-ahead to reconstruct the market. And as part of their contract, they are supposed to deal with the challenges that these traders have with the drains. They say that this has been a problem within the market for a very long time, and the construction they are doing will see to the end of these challenges being encountered by the market traders. So after the construction, the drains will be actually dealt with.
That's my colleague Nanaya Ojima reporting from Kumasi. This is the Midday News here on Joy99.7 FM. Get involved and get counted. Charged by President Akufo-Addo to Ghanaians as the 2021 National Population and Housing Census kicks off. We've been hearing from census officers who are collecting data across the country. Some worried about the outcome also. When we return, we have sports, and then later in showbiz, when Kitty met the VGMA Artist of the Year, Diana Hamilton, for the first time after a competitive award ceremony.
Congratulations. Wow. You're such a fine gentleman. Thank you very much. Wow. He's a true gentleman. Mom, please sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down. Thank you.
I've been through a lot, but grace sustained me.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Ikuya Anderson. I'm from the Ghana Statistical Service. I'm a census official, and I'm here to count you and your household members for the 2021 Population and Housing Census.
Hey, you people, you come to count us all the time, but we get nothing out of this. Do I even have time?
Daddy, please take an ID card and letter in. We must be counted. It's very important.
You see, the data they collect is for various purposes. To know the total number of people in the country, the characteristics, housing conditions and stuff, to inform policy. The
2021 Population and Housing Census will leave no one behind. The census night is 27th June. Counting of all persons who spend the census night in Ghana will be conducted from that night to 11th July. Before then, all structures will be assigned unique numbers and basic information collected on them and their occupants from 13th to 25th June. The 2021 Population and Housing Census. You count, get counted.
Do you know that when you dial star 700 hash on Vodafone, you are accessing a world of endless opportunities, from getting a job in another country while right here in Ghana to playing esports in real time, from attending world-class institutions from your bedroom to seeing specialist doctors without leaving home, and so much more. So get the best value data offers in Ghana on Vodafone. Get 1.23 gigabyte data, no expiry data for only 5 Ghana cedis, 3.4 gigabyte data for only 10 cedis, and 9 gigabyte data for only 20 Ghana cedis. Dial star 700 hash now.
Vodafone. Together we can.
It's time for sports. Hans Mensa Ando is here in the studio. So what do we have?
and even fans of Asante
were you calling for Kotoko song
even
right now?
fans of Asante Kotoko that we know are jamming to their Rosa Rose
Of
team.
course.
And, you're in the
Masters,
colors.
yes.
Even
All
the shoes
dripped in rainbow.
depict, the rainbow colors. And of course, it's all about Accra Hearts of Folk today. They've got a bragging right until at least the next Super Clash after they defeated Asante Kotoko by a goal to nil to go top of the Ghana Premier League table. The point difference between them and Kotoko is now 3 points. But we've heard quite a lot from the fans. They said all they have to say. Let's take a listen to Coach Samuel Boydu, who is insisting that the job of winning the title is not done. And then we hear from Asante Kotoko's Mariano Barreto.
It's not finished. It's missing 3 matches. It's 9 points. Of course, it's more difficult. But let's see what's happened. They have 3 points more than us. It's missing 3 games. It's a tough match. But of course, it's a little bit difficult. Not depending for us. Now, the league depends what Hearts can do in the future.
No, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. But we do respect all the premier clubs that we take match after match. We are finished with this match, and we believe that the subsequent matches we take it one by one. Not yet. We have to fight extra. We have to fight hard to get all the 3 matches 9 points. We are on course. We are on course, but we need to work extra to win the next match against Dwarfs.
If you're a Hearts of Folk fan like him, go out there and exercise your right to brag. That's your sports.
We deserve it. And chairman of the NPP, Freddie Blay, says disregard for COVID-19 protocols at the funeral of former NPP General Secretary Kojo Owusu-Efriye should not open the floodgates for any group of persons to demand rights to stage a protest. It comes following attempts by the police to prevent Fix the Country campaigners from staging a street protest against the government over fears of a possible third wave of the virus. In an interview with my colleague Kwesi Parker Wilson, he observed that the police should not allow a total breakdown of the safety protocols.
I don't have anything against it unless the police themselves decide that for one reason or the other, they think they should not be given the permission to do so.
They cited COVID protocols. I mean, super spreader for perhaps the protest. Yes. And we've seen that for Sir John. We saw that for the students who massed up to welcome the president in the Northeast region. They argue that the police doesn't have a key. You agree?
I disagree with you on what you are saying. The Sir John issue, I've talked about it before. Even then, as you can see, people have criticized it. And I'm saying that while they are entitled to criticize it, it doesn't mean that it should be repeated elsewhere.
That's NPP chairman, Freddie Blay. It's time for showbiz. Mapitso Sibidi is here.
One shouty.
You still have a voice?
One shouty, please.
You should be apologizing to us.
Apologize for what? Still, our blood is red. Our blood is red. You cannot can us, please. Thank you very much.
Your blood is rainbow at this point.
All right, so in showbiz, as we know, the biggest night in entertainment took place this weekend, and that was the VGMA, and we saw a lot of performances from Mr. Drew. That was like one of the biggest performances. He's dancing, his ensemble, everything was just great. And another highlight was Eno Baroni winning the rap award of the year. So as the first female, we'd just like to say Aiko to her. But Kiddy and Diana met today, and this is how the interaction went.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're presenting the VGMA Artist of the Year.
Congratulations.
You're such a fine gentleman.
Thank you very much. Wow.
A true gentleman.
Mom, please sit down. Please sit down.
Thank
are you serious? Please sit down. This is very serious. Okay. So this doesn't usually happen, viewers. We don't usually rearrange sets during the show. But
I'll feel special when I sit in the middle.
Okay. Yes, actually, I have to start with. Auntie Diana,
yes, Kiki.
On behalf of myself and the whole Links Entertainment team, we'd want to say a big congratulations to you.
Thank you.
God bless you so much.
Thank you.
Love.
Thank you.
I have just one
Can I also say congratulations to you?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You picked 4 awards and that was amazing.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
For a great job
Thank you very much.
And for being such a fine gentleman.
For the essence of my praise, Heart of Oak.
It's centered on your grace.
That's right. That's right.
What
By the way, it's the hair for me.
Yeah.
It's the hair for me. You people should go to Facebook and check out MFA's hair.
And that's it for the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Top stories on myjoyonline.com. Use judicial processes to address issue of bias against Judge CJ tells Asin North MP. Also, Unibank Amano Adodu should not have accepted BOG receiver appointment. Mahama eulogizes Kwesi Senti Bafuboni. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Words of Salvation, Living Word with Pastor Men Saltable, Episode 1. Do stay. I am MFA Pao.